Welcome to practice. I'm Donna Cavanough. Oh, I like to practice with a blanket near me and maybe a chair, especially if we're standing on one leg. Chairs are useful to just have nearby. But we're going to begin laying down and we're going to use the blanket under the hips. So I'm going to fold it so it's long and narrow. And when I put it across the mat, it's a little bit wider than the mat. A rolled up towel would do this same action, and it goes under the tailbone. So you lay down and the tailbone is lifting and you'll feel that your belly is relaxed. And the ends of that can be tucked under a little bit more. And then when you put your knees out, so soles of the feet together, knees out, you'll find that thicker support underneath the femur bone is very encouraging for the hips to relax. And arms out a little from the sides of your body and the spine long. And finding the flow of your breath. As you give yourself time and space, the space of this posture, to notice how you feel. To notice what it is to connect to the breath. And just in the last moments of this pose, really giving the weight of your body to the support, feeling supported. Good. And then gently bringing in your legs, and we're going to take the blanket off to the side. Take your back and press it into the floor. Your lower back is pressing, and you'll notice the front core of the body hollows then. And then we're going to inhale and do the opposite, lift the lower back away from the floor. So the belly gets to expand, be spacious and relaxed. Good. Exhaling, pressing the lower back into the floor. And inhaling and lifting the lower back away from the floor. Good. A couple more times. Feeling the interaction between the back core of the body and the front core of the body. Nice. We're going to hold the lower back pressing to the floor now and lift your legs straight up. Good. And really try to press your back. Great. We're going to bend the legs. Take your arms straight up. Good. And then we're going to take the left leg towards the floor and straightening it, the right arm towards the floor. You don't have to go that far from center to realize that you're engaging the core of the body. So just make the movement as small or large as feels good for you, and back to center. And then the right leg, left arm. And we're going to keep doing that, really focusing on keeping the lower back pressing to the floor. Notice, especially if you take a really big movement, that we start to tense up around the heart and the face and the throat. So see if you can make it just the core of the body, that deep core. So the back is pressing, Feel the front core of the body pressing to the back to support. Good, and we keep going. Mm. Hug your knees into your chest and rocking a little bit from side to side. Mm. And legs straight up and arms straight up. Press your lower back. Drop the arms and the legs away from center, not all the way, just enough to engage the front core of the body. Good, and we're holding and breathing. And then drop a little more, and it can just be a couple of centimeters so that it gets a tiny bit harder. Pressing your lower back. And if you've got room to drop a little bit more, do so. Keep pressing your lower back. Face relaxed, throat relaxed. Dropping again. Try to press your lower back. Good. And then hug your knees into your chest and take happy baby pose, which is a really nice antidote to that strong core work. So hold your ankles or your feet, and you try to set your knees and your feet as wide as they'll go. And your back is pressing on the floor, and your belly is relaxed. And you find your connection to the breath and how satisfying that can be. Good. And then we're going to repeat our legs straight up and arms straight up and really pressing your back into the floor. Good. And then we drop the arms and the feet away from center and breathing. And again. And again. Beautiful. And then holding onto your feet. Happy baby pose. Really relaxing belly and back. Nice work. Releasing. We're going to roll over into an all fours position. And arching the spine up and down. Such a simple movement. It's easiest to access in this hands and knees on the floor. But moving the spine forward and back. Or up and down in this case. Stretch your fingers out wide, press your fingerprints, elbows a little bit bent, and you're pressing out the muscle just above your elbows. And let's add in the wave-like movement, which is still forward and back, but we're going to take the hands further forward. So bigger distance to hands to feet. And then you can bend your elbows. And what happens now is we're still taking the spine up and down, but you're waving the spine so that the lower half of the spine is traveling in one direction while the upper half is traveling in the opposite direction. So finding your wave where you move every joint along your spine right up to the base of your skull independently from its neighbors and the other direction. Nice. And then we're going to take child's pose. relaxing your arms and shoulders, and your lower back starts to broaden and lengthen. And you get to connect again to the satisfaction of each breath. Mm. Good. And then back into all fours. And we're going to pick up the left leg. And we're going to draw a little circle behind with the knee. We're just going to try to work the left buttock muscle to do this. So you're lifting the leg using the buttock muscle. So a little circle behind. We're also going to try and keep an even weight through the arms. The sacrum, the pelvis stays level to the floor. Good. If you want to add a little more strength to the arms, you can try lifting your right arm off the floor at the same time. So we're keeping the torso level to the floor. If that's too tricky for your balance, take the leg in the opposite direction. Too tricky for the balance, put the hand back down on the floor. Ooh. Left buttock. Very good. And then release that side. And then we're going to lift up the right leg, and the leg is bent. And then we're drawing a circle with the knee. And we keep that circle in the vicinity of using the right buttock muscle. So you're not bringing the knee down near the floor. Good. And you can have both arms on both hands on the floor, pressing your fingerprints. Same thing, elbows a little bit bent, but keep the arms even. All right. And if you feel that you have your balance, you can try taking the left arm up as well. Take the leg in the opposite direction now. Keep lifting the knee, using the right buttock muscle. Good. And then releasing. We're going to take the knees a little bit wider now for forward Virasana. Just wider than you normally would, testing that movement of the hip. Body. Remembering in the cat stretch that you were able to arch your spine up and down. Just tuning into that, feel the bones of your spine. And with your shape up and the spine arch up to the ceiling. Nice work. And we're going to come up to standing from here. So do that in whatever way feels sensible. If you'd like to try it out, you can be in a kneeling position, tuck your toes under, lift your knees off the floor, and you can use your hands however you need to help you, and come up to standing. We're going to be standing at the back of the mat for this sequence. And so they'll be stepping forward, but they'll be stepping back in a different way to the way we normally do. And if you need a chair handy just to keep you balanced, then grab that. At the back of the mat, standing in Tadasana, find your feet right underneath your hips, so your legs are parallel, feet are parallel, hip width. Lift the front of your body. Relax the spine longer, but feel that the legs are powerful. Roll the upper arms out. Balance your head and relax your neck. Okay. We're going to take the arms up And keep the shoulders spacious. Bend the knees and bend forward. And we're going to sweep the arms up beside the torso so the palms are facing up. Good. And then we're going to keep going with that movement. See if you can introduce a feeling in your body or tune into a feeling that's already there of the limbs, the joints, being supple and elastic. You might get a real swing with the arms. Find a spaciousness to your joints, your hip joints, your shoulders. And if you want to add in a balance challenge, when you lift up and you lift your arms up, you're going to lift it up onto your balls of the feet. Whoa. Keep going, finding your own rhythm. Lovely. And then releasing back into Tadasana, your mountain pose. Feeling the vitality of your body. Beautiful. We're going to take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, so looking up, bring your hands into Namaste. Step your right foot forward, and we're going to have the back heel onto the floor. Good, and then bend your front leg. And we're going to do the same movement with the spine, taking the arms up, and then lean the torso forward, and we're going to swing the arms up beside, and we're going to lift up again. The front leg is bent, and the back leg is straight, and we're pressing the heel. And you're trusting your feet know the floor, and the legs are strong. Good. Nice work. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Now, this is where stepping backwards is going to feel different. And I want you to try and balance on your left foot as you step back before you put the right foot down and find where it goes. Hip width, parallel for Tadasana. Nice work. Arms up. Hands in front of the heart. Step the left foot forward. Bend the front leg, but press the back heel. Good. And then arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Finding your feet, footing, trusting your feet. Good. And then sweep the torso forward, the arms up beside you. Good. Keep the front leg bent, back leg is pressing straight, lift up. And a couple more. Oh. Last one. Good. Hands in front of your heart. And finding your stepping back, balancing on your right foot. So you don't put your left foot down until you have your balance. Well, and you know where your foot is going to go. Tadasana. Nice. We're going to take the arms up and be in a halfway forward bend with your hands up on your thighs or on your shins, but try not to press your hands on your knees. We're going to have the legs bend and try doing the cat stretch from this standing position. So it's a little harder to access than when the hands and knees are on the floor because the hamstrings make it tighter to try and get the back bend shape where the spine arches down. So just noticing the connection there, but trying to get as much movement as you can. All right, let's keep the spine forward. So the bones of your spine are embedded towards the front of your torso. And we're going to try and straighten both your legs by doing them alternately. Ooh. One leg and then the other. Good. Now, we're going to bend the knees enough to get the hands near to the floor and take little steps forward with your hands. When you land your hands, stretch your fingers out wide, press your fingerprints. Good, and we're going to walk the hands forward into downward facing dog pose, or as close as you can get. Try to keep your heels on the floor. Taking a couple of breaths there. Lifting kneecaps. And then walking your hands back. Good. And you can bend your knees as you need to. And we're going to roll up. And take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And hands in front of your heart. Namaste. And then Tadasana. Beautiful. Arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands in Namaste. Step your right foot forward. Back heel stays on the floor, but we're going to bend the front leg this time. Oh, we did that before. We're going to straighten the front leg this time. All right, let's take the arms up. And we're going to be sweeping the torso forward and back again. So really find your feet. Good. Stretching the toes apart. Reach the torso forward and the arms up beside you. And lifting up. If you're having trouble with your balance, having the feet wider apart from side to side will give you a bigger foundation. So you can try that. We're going to keep going. Arms up, torso forward. We've got straight legs this time. Good. Last one. And when you're ready, you're going to be stepping back, balancing on your left foot, and trying to hold your position until you find where you're going to put your right foot. Hip width, parallel, back into your Tadasana. Nice work. A bit tricky. Arms up and hands in front of your heart. Left foot steps forward. All right, so just considering how to position your feet so you've got your best balance, really trusting your feet. So feel them on the floor. Good, and we've got straight legs this time. Back heel is pressing. Arms up and then torso forward. Keep the bones of your spine forward. Arms up beside you. And then lifting the torso, lifting the arms, looking up. Reaching out in front. Lifting your arms, looking up. And then reaching out in front, straight leg. Beautiful. We're going to do one more of those. Really trusting your feet. Good. Coming up. And then we're going to be stepping back and balancing on the right foot. And whoa, try to find your balance before you put your left foot hip width parallel. Take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Come into your halfway forward bend. Hands on your legs, just not on your knees. Good, and then stretching the back of the legs again. Keeping your back bend shape. So that means the bones of your spine pressing towards the front of the torso. So if you feel behind you, we don't have a rainbow shape, more of a valley shape. All right, alternating legs. If the next part that we did before with the hands walking forward and back on the mat is too much, it's just too strong on your back because your legs are not quite stretchy enough yet, then keep doing this one. So stay here, alternating leg to leg. Otherwise, put your hands on the floor, keep your heels on the floor, and walking your hands forward. Keep the fingers wide, even spaces, and press your fingerprints down every time your hands land. find your downward facing dog pose. Ooh, lifting sit bones, lifting kneecaps, lifting quadriceps. Let your head just hang down. Connecting to your breath. Satisfying breath. Good. And then walking your hands back. And you can bend your legs as much as you need to. Feeling your back bend shape as you roll up. Take your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, and then Tadasana. Beautiful. All right. Urdhva Hastasana. Hands in Namaste. Stepping the right foot forward, and we're going to go a little bit further with that step forward. And we're going to have a bent front leg. We're going to reach the torso forward over the front leg. Good. Now, we're going to do this holding the hands behind. You might be able to fold your arms and hold your torso. Actually, let's lift the torso while we organize the arms. We've got the front leg bent, back heel pressing. I can't move my arm in that direction today, but holding your elbows, I'm just going to hold my hands where I can. So keeping the arms back behind. And then we're going to reach the torso back out over the front leg. Good. And bending your front leg to where it feels good, pressing the back heel. And then we're just going to turn the whole torso to look to the right. You might be able to turn your shoulders so your right shoulder starts to stack up over the left shoulder. And breathing. Reach your torso as far as feels good. Good. And then turn back to the front. And then we're going to lift up. Aha, beautiful. Release your arms. And we're going to take the right leg back, balance on your left foot. You might be getting the hang of that now. Standing into Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Step the left foot forward. Back heel is pressing and the front leg is bent. Let's organize the arms before we take the torso forward. So holding your elbows if you can. That really brings the bones of the spine forward. Good. Pressing the back heel. Now we're going to reach the torso forward. Pressing. So trusting that your feet know what to do. Stretch the toes out. Good. And then we're going to turn to the left side as though we could stack the left shoulder over the right shoulder, turning the rib. Breathing. Connecting to the breath. Lifting left rib. Good. Turn back to the center. And then we're going to lift up. Good. Release your arms and step back and balance on your right foot. Woo! Didn't quite make it. Tadasana. Feeling your feet, strong legs, the lift of the front body, the relaxed feeling in your shoulders and your neck, the length of the spine, your mountain pose, alive with the flow of the breath, your energetic body. Beautiful. We're going to come down to sitting. So I'm going to do a little sequence to get us to seated, and you can follow along or come down to sit in a way that suits your body. We're going to take our Uttanasana again. So standing forward bend. Hands to the floor, bend your knees enough. Walk your hands forward as we did before into downward facing dog pose. And then knees to the floor. And here you are at the floor. So wiggle yourself to get comfortable in a seated position. If you can kneel and it doesn't hurt your knees, then do this kneeling. And if kneeling's not going to work, sit up onto your blanket with your feet in front of you. If you're kneeling, aim for parallel thighs, parallel feet. So even the toes go straight back rather than pointing towards each other. And don't kneel if it hurts your knees. Sit onto your blanket and put your feet out in front. Good, finding long spine. And see if in your seated position, kneeling or otherwise, you can arch your spine forward and back. And it might feel easier to arch it back and more difficult to bring it forward. You'll see we have access to that forward and back movement of the spine in lots of different planes that the body might be in. But depending on what's difficult for other parts of the body, it slows down or it impedes our connection to the spine. Bring the bones of your spine as far forward as you can in your position. Good. And then take your hands onto the floor beside or behind your hip and lifting your spine. Finding the flow of your breath. Virasana or hero pose. Very nice. And we're all going to put the feet out to the front now and take a seat onto the blanket. Take your legs out to straight in front of you. Dandasana. And like we just did in Virasana, bring the bones of the spine forward and lifting the spine, relaxing your shoulders. Pressing down through the back of the knees, pressing out through the soles of the feet. Feeling the sit bones as your foundation. Connecting to the flow of your breath. Nice. All right, we're going to keep the legs nice and active like that, and we're going to try and keep the spine lifting, bones of the spine forward. Bend in your left leg. We're going to bring the foot in as close as it goes to your body, and we're going to, as your left, want to plop out to the foot. So the legs feel active, the spine feels active. Turn onto your knee with your right hand to help you, and find your breath so that you're following your breath into each of these movements. And the body along the left arm as high as you can and as far as you can towards your right foot. Good. And then you can let go your right hand and put it on the floor beside you. And notice what happens with the left leg. It gets loose. So we're going to press the foot down again. And we're going to follow the breath into reaching the bones of the spine forward. If it makes sense to hold your foot with both of your hands, then do that, or you can have your hands either side of your leg, or you can have your right hand back beside you to keep your balance, but try keeping the left knee in and following your breath. Marichyasana. Good. And then we're going to lift up. Beautiful. Left leg flows out straight. Right leg flows in. And we're going to turn to the right side. You can have your left hand on your right knee to help you. And follow the breath as you turn. Good. Feeling how strong the legs are. We're going to reach the right arm or swim the right arm across the front of your body towards the little toe side of your left foot. You can release your left hand onto the floor. The right knee is lifting towards the right ribs and pressing the right foot and lengthening the rib cage out and over the left leg with every breath. So if you're not reaching your foot, your hands are where they make sense to help you lengthen your spine, to bring the bones of the spine further forward. The leg clothing can be useful to hang on to give you a little helping hand along the way. Good. If it makes sense to hold both hands on your leg or your foot, then do that. Following the flow of the breath. Good. And then releasing. Nice work. We're going to bring both of the feet together now, soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. And hold underneath your knees. That same, when we started the practice, we had that extra padding under the femur bone. And holding your knees, giving them a little bit of support. Similar action. Lift the bones of the spine. Bring them forward. Sitting tall. Relax your shoulders. And then for Sukhasana twist, crossing your legs or else a position that feels comfortable for your legs. Turning to your left side. And again, let's follow the breath into this movement of the rib. Being curious. And back to the center. And then swapping the cross of the legs and turning to the right side. Turning the wrist. And back to center. Hands in front of your heart. Lifting the spine, relaxing the shoulders. Tuning into your energetic body. And take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.